nice goblet of ale, and then we will have our supper at the board. Gavin MacArthur left early the next morning, but not before once more telling Ellen to convince her grandfather to change his plans.
"You're a good lass, I can see it. You'll make my Bulgar a fine wife."
When he had gone, Ellen told her grandfather what his cousin had said to her.
"They mean to steal you," Ewan MacArthur said. "Oh, nae it. I cannot protect you here, lassie. I must send you south to King Jamie for your own protection. We canna waste time about it either. I hae no doubt that once back on his damned island, that cousin of mine will arrange to kidnap you and take you to Skye. He'll see you wed to his son in order to force my hand to disinherit young Donald. And nae it. Tell Anise to pack your things, for the pair of you will go tomorrow, and you'll nae come back until I sense I am close to death. But when you do, you'll marry Donald McNabb, and I will rest easy knowing that you're safe. Now run along, lassie, and tell Burke I wish to write a letter."
Ewan MacArthur watched as his granddaughter hurried from his hall. He did not want to lose his Ellen in his last years, but there was no other choice. In King James's custody, she would be safe, and the king would follow the laird's wishes should Ewan die before she returned home to Lochern. He knew the island branch of the family by reputation. They were wild people. He sighed. Sending Ellen away was not the happiest solution for him, but now it seemed the only solution if she was to be kept safe. Chapter 1. "But I dinna want to leave Lochern," Ellen MacArthur's servant and companion wailed, and she began to cry. "There is nae choice in the matter, Annis," Ellen told the weeping girl. "Grandsire is convinced that once his cousin returns to Skye, he will mount a raiding party and come to steal me away. He doesn't want me to be kidnapped, and I dinna want to be stolen. We'll be safe at court. I never thought I would go to court." "I dinna want to go to court," Annie sniffled. "Why must I go? Nae one will bride-nap me, Ellen. Do I have to go with you?" "I canna go without a serving woman, and you're the one who serves me, Annis. Ever since I grew too big for my nursemaid, Peggy, you have been my servant and friend," Ellen said quietly. "I will go with you, lassie. You need nae put up with the likes of her," Peggy, who'd been helping the two younger women pack, said sharply. "She dinna know the meaning of loyalty or clan, as she ha none." "Peggy, 'tis cruel you are," Ellen scolded. "You know very well that Grandsire considers Annis a MacArthur." "The old laird's heart is a good one," Peggy replied. "It isn't my fault I was found on the hillside," Annie said, and her lower lip trembled. "It isn't my fault that me mam dinna want me." "Born in shame you were, and that's for certain, else you would nae ha ended up naked in the heather. Your mam was probably little better than ye are, and God only knows the seed from which you sprouted. Your mam probably dinna know either. The wild beast would have made a meal of you had the old laird not found you himself and taken you in, you ungrateful lass. You would have nothing without him. He gave you a home, food, garments to cover your nakedness, and a purpose in life. If you let the Lady Ellen go south alone, what would you ha or do? Now cease your caterwauling and hurry with the packing. The lady must be safe away before the MacArthurs of Skye come calling." "I thought you wanted to go in my place," Annie said slyly. "I'm too old to travel," Peggy snapped. Ellen hid a smile. Peggy had resented Annis from the moment her grandfather had assigned the young woman to serve her. Peggy did not trust Annis, but when she had protested, the old laird had told Peggy that Ellen needed a younger companion, and Ellen had promised her nursemaid that she would care for Ellen's bairns one day after she and Donald McNabb were wed. Now, however, it appeared that the wedding, which was to have taken place in another year, would be postponed further. Ellen sighed. She didn't want to leave Lochern either, but her grandfather's instincts were still sharp, and there seemed to be no other solution at hand. A rider was dispatched that same day to King James with instructions to ride as quickly as he could and find the king. He carried a letter from the Laird of Lochern, explaining in full the situation that Ewan and his granddaughter faced. Ewan MacArthur begged the king to take charge of Ellen MacArthur's care and keep her safe until he sent for her, which would not be until he sensed his death. She was a good and obedient girl, a virgin, the Laird wrote. If the king would be so kind as to put Ellen MacArthur in the household of some respectable lady, the lass would earn her keep,